Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to do my take on the very demure, very mindful look, which has literally been a phrase all over my TikTok, and because I'm chronically online, I've been seeing it like every 5 minutes. So I thought, what would be my take on that? And in fair honesty, I think this is just like a very everyday friendly, natural kind of clean girl vibes makeup, and honestly what I go for most of the time. So going to show you guys some of the techniques I've been using to create looks that are very natural and more flawless looking, but also is quite quick as well. So yeah, and apologies for not posting in a long time. I've had exams, so I've been just swamped and my headspace was just a mess, but now I'm on holidays, so more content is to be expected. Let me know if you want to see anything in particular, but let's get on to this video. First, we're going to prime our skin, and I'm going to start off with a favorite combo of mine that I'm back into. This is the W Air Fit Pore Primer from W Lab, and this is just amazing for a T-zone or anywhere you're really oily or porous. So I really love using this on the center of my face, and I like to apply with my finger and apply just some slight pressure and dab it in like this. So it really gets in with all my pores and makes it a smooth surface. It also makes my makeup last longer just because it actually mattifies the skin a little bit on the T-zone, along the nose. Chin area is very important, and whatever's remaining, just spread it out from the center to the perimeters of the face. I absolutely love this primer, and I stopped using it for a while just because it wasn't like in front of me, so I didn't reach for it because I have a lot of makeup, unfortunately, and I just don't use all of it. But the next one I'm going to use is the Clio Moist Primer. This is the pre-step. It's so pretty. It has like gold flakes in it, but what this really does is just moisturize the skin. It's a really nice gel texture, and it just melts in like water. It's really calming, and what I do like about this is that it has like a cooling effect. So in the morning where my skin is really just always super, what is it called? Not swollen. Oh my gosh. What is that called when you wake up and yeah, it's swollen, right? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. But yeah, my skin is always just a little bit like too puffy. Yeah, that's the word. It's really puffy, so using this, like, I feel like it cools down my skin a little bit because my fingers are slightly colder as well. But this is the priming situation done, and we're just gonna let that settle in for a while. Also, how cute are these little clips? They're from Yesstyle. They're from Miffy collection, and I'm just, oh, they're so cute and everyday. But let's go on to the next step. Now you can see my skin is a little bit troubled lately just because hormones, exams, stress, and I wasn't eating too well either. So all those things contribute to your skin. I don't think you should be very distressed when you're trying to take care of your skin and it's not looking the way you want it to, because honestly, that's how your skin works. There's so many factors to it, and you know, you just have to give it some time and find the products that work for you. So we're going to use concealer. That's the next best thing that can happen to you, and I'm going to use the same perfect Cover Perfection concealer. This is one of the best concealers on the market. It's so good, it's so cheap as well, and I like to just use a little bit of the green to cover up the redness on my skin like that. And again, a lot of fingers, just because this routine I wanted to show you guys, it can be very simple and effective for every day. You don't need a lot of tools for this. Now, same finger, I'm going to use this little peachier salmon shade and just cover the under eyes. And then finally, the more neutral color, I'm going to use it as like a brightening concealer and just put it on areas where my skin isn't necessarily discolored or it has like dark marks or anything. It's just like a little bit uneven. So we're going to do that. And that's it. We mapped out all our concealer, and you can see it's not blended in very nicely just because I actually wanted to keep it the maximum coverage, and that's how you first place it on. And now we're going to layer it with foundation, which is actually going to blend and just make everything melt together. For a very clean and minimal makeup look, what we actually want to do is keep our surface quite minimalistic, and you don't want to overpower with like too much contour, blush, and just like crazy eyeliner or anything too out the norm. You want to keep it really subtle, but it elevates your features. So foundation and concealer is actually super important here, because what I like to do when I want to give myself a clean look, I actually use two foundations. Boop. two foundations, and what you can notice is this one's lighter, this one's darker. So how I apply it to give myself that kind of contoured look without using an extra product is I like to use the lighter shade of foundation on the center of my face, so it really brightens and brings that forward, and then using the darker shade actually contouring the perimeters of my face. But they're still the same undertone, it's just this one is slightly too dark. And my favorite hack, I suppose, is most of us, I think makeup lovers, have two foundations, one for the winter cooler times where our skin's a little bit lighter, and one for summer. Just use those. That was a loud clash. So this is my summer foundation because I'm a bit more tan in the summer, and this is my winter one, which currently I am using because I'm a bit more pale, and yeah, that's how it works. So let's start off first with the center of my face. We're going to get one pump, not too much, of this Giverny Milchak foundation. This one's awesome, also SPF 30. I really like it, and I usually just take my finger, smush it a little bit, and just map it out. I literally just apply it with my fingers, and I'm quite gentle with it as well, just because we actually put on the concealer earlier. We don't want to disrupt it too much. Okay, so now we have the foundation basically smeared all over the face. We're going to take a tiny dot of this Rare Beauty foundation. I really like this one. This one's a very watery texture. It's not super high coverage, which I love as well. And we're just going to keep it on our hand whilst we use a fat and wet beauty blender to really just bounce everything out. This is from Air Perez. Look how big it is. I love it. And we're going to be really gentle in buffing out the foundation. We're just using slight tapping motions. Look at that, our skin looks so good right now. And now we finished with the center of our face. We're just going to take the tiniest dab of the foundation and just put it on all the perimeters of our face, like that. And then blend it together. And we're going to like kind of melt it in as well, so use some circling motions. Make sure we just take whatever we have and blend it down the neck. And voila, here is our base done. Now, I did mention earlier, if you are a little bit concerned with some of your blemish areas, you can go back in with your concealer from earlier and just tap it on. But I would recommend not using the color corrector as much, just using the one that is the closest to your skin shade. Otherwise, it might look a little bit actually green and peachy, but I actually like how the skin looks. I think some areas peeking out is completely fine and actually makes the makeup look better, in my opinion. It just looks more real and it looks more skin-like. So I'm actually going to move on to the next step. Now we're going to use some blush, and I'm going to use a cream blush that is actually red because I read this, okay, I didn't read it, I think I saw a TikTok on it that Victoria's Secret models don't use pink blushes, they use red, and that looks more natural, which kind of makes sense because your blood is red, so this is more like an actual flush rather than pink. So I'm actually going to use this beautiful color pot in the shade Hello from Air Perez, and this is made in Mexico. Now, if you saw my video using a full face of Air Perez, you would know I love this brand to death. It's absolutely incredible. It's just so underrated. It's a little bit expensive, but I think it's so worth it because it lasts you ages and the quality is just phenomenal. We're going to use my beauty sponge again. You can see the bottom is what I use for blush, so it's like quite pink, and now it's going to be red. We're just going to dab it in there a few times, and we're going to apply it. This is quite pigmented, so be careful. So yeah, be careful, it's really, really pigmented. Put some on the nose, on the chin, forehead, just so it mimics like a sunburn. Now we're going to take the side where we put on our foundation, and we're just going to tap this in so everything melts in, and it looks like almost it's blushing underneath because you're putting that extra mini layer of foundation on, so it looks more subtle. I also like to put some on my eyes just so I can have a base for my eyeshadow later on. Since it's going to be super natural, I don't want it to be just like this pasty white eyelid. So have some red underneath it really brings the color come to life. Now we're just going to slightly powder our face just so everything sets in place quite nicely. This is the About Tone pore powder, I think, but this is one of my favorite powders ever. This is a Glips, but it's repackaged, so it's like a new brand, but the product is exactly the same. And make sure you sweep it all over your eyelashes as well, because otherwise your mascara will smear. I'm concentrating the powder just for under the eyes, over the eyes, and basically that's it, just because those are areas I want to brighten and just literally remove all oils. Even maybe some on the chin, around the nose, maybe there, but that's about it, not too much powder. Now we're gonna go with eyeshadow, which is super exciting. I'm using my new Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveau palette, and it is literally the palette of my dreams. I always wanted it ever since it came out, but it was just too expensive. And when Sephora did a sale, this was, I believe, 40% off, which I thought, yes, steal. So I grabbed it, and it's so pretty. I love it. And because this makeup look, it's my idea of like a clean girl makeup, and it's just super natural, super wearable, and the fact that I'm chronically online is an issue, but I love just how it's meant to be, like really everyday friendly, work friendly, corporate friendly. So yeah, I'm gonna use this palette. Honestly, it's a really fun like autumn palette. If you just like cover this, it's like a pretty rustic and actually kind of grungy look, but adding that, just suddenly springtime. It's just so fun how color theory works. You don't have that bright white base, everything looks a little bit darker, it's a little bit more neutral tone, right? Bam. It's just such a pretty palette. Our look isn't super exciting, it's just everyday. So we're going to start off with Paloma and this white base. I must say, this formula of eyeshadow is a step up from their old formula. It has less kickback, it has less fallout, it's just so much better. Next, same brush, we're just going to take a little bit of Fleur and deepen the edges. Taking a finer brush, we're going to use Metro. I don't know how it's already August. I feel like the year just flashed by. Everything went by super quickly, and at the same time, it just feels so long ago. I was talking to a few friends of mine who at uni, I actually met the previous term, and I don't know, it just felt like I knew them for ages. And when we talk about like, oh, we've only known each other for like, what, maybe like 5 months? And it just shocked me so much. I was like, wait, surely time travels much slower than that, because I swear I've known you for ages. And then we thought about it, we're like, well, it does, because it's already August and we've done absolutely nothing, yet so many things have happened. The Olympics are already over, which I'm so shocked by. Like, to me, it started yesterday that I was watching, like, oh my god, I love that rugby player from America. I don't know how you pronounce her name. I think it's Ilona Mayer. I actually don't know how you pronounce it, but I love her TikTok on the whole the Olympics villa, and she's finding, oh, she's just an icon. I love her. Love Tom Daley and him just knitting 24/7, and those pouches for medals, like how cute is that? The Muffin Man, just everything. It happened so quickly, and I feel like, honestly, it felt like that was, but it felt like so long ago at the same time. It just, my perception of time has just completely been distorted. But yeah, I am so just, oh, just suddenly thought about it. I was gonna say, I'm so proud of Australia, we're doing so well, and we got so many medals, but our breakdancing is the only thing people are going to remember us by for a long time. So interesting. Now I'm going to take the big fluffy brush we used earlier, and I'm actually going to go in with the shade Isle, which is a shimmer metallic, and we're going to dust that all over the eyes, just because this way it's a lot more subtle and it brings like this almost, I guess, ethereal look to it, because it's so light. The brush is so fluffy, it doesn't pick up as much pigment, so it's just leaving some glitter and highlights, and it's so pretty this way. Can we see that? It's just like a gloss over my eyes. It's super natural. It blends everything together, but it's also not super out of place. It's just such a nice technique. I recommend if you guys want to put on some glitter, but it's not like one of those super sparse ones, is more metallic. Use a really fluffy brush that you will usually use for blending, and take it, dust off the excess, and just bam, super pretty. I'm so used to K-beauty shadows that I forget how pigmented and, I guess, concentrated metallics and shimmers are in the Western market, but this is it. And now what we're going to do is a little bit of liner, and the liner I'm going to use the shade Muse. This is, again, a metallic, I guess, like a green brown. It's really pretty, and I am super into like metallic and shimmery wing eyeliner right now, just because I feel like it adds a little extra something to your look. And what we're going to do is use an eyeliner brush or like brow brush and just extend the liner out super subtly. To finish off the eyes, I'm going to use this Peri Pera glitter liner. This one's super pretty. You guys have seen me use this a lot, and it basically is just the perfect inner corner highlighter because it's super fine and it's super sparkly. Can we see that? instantly this eye looks like it's open a lot more because everything is relatively more matte, and this pop of shimmer just draws light compared to this eye. There we are, and I feel like this is done and dusted. We're going to just put on some brows and some mascara, and I'll be right back. We are back. The eyelashes and brows are done. Eyelashes, I use the Hamage Smudge Stop mascara. It is an old favorite of mine that I just haven't used for a while, but I really like it. It's very long lasting, and you can see wispy lashes, not clumpy. And for brows, I literally just used whatever was remaining on my eyeliner brush from the color Muse and just brushed through it. Looks cute. But now we're going to do our lips, and I have been obsessed with this lately. This is the Polite Society Polite Pout Glossy Lip Balm. It is so pretty. I have this in the shade Strawberry, and it gives you such a cushy, like, glossy lip. My friend and I, we went shopping at Mecca, and we were looking at just everything, honestly, and as soon as we swatched this, we were like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. We fell in love, and we purchased one each. So yeah, look at that. It's also a red undertone, so it actually matches and brings out the color of your blush, which I love. And as soon as we do that, I'm going to put on some lip liner. Patrick Ta, this is the lip crayon, and it is literally the best lip liner you would ever find. Now I actually feel that my cheeks have eaten the blush a little bit, so I'm going to apply just a tad more. Take out my clips, and we are done. Here we are. This is the final look. Very demure, very mindful, very everyday friendly, and honestly, I just think it's one of those looks that it's just can be worn by everyone. You just personalize it a tiny bit, but overall it's just a very flattering look. And as you can see, I don't like to use too much highlighter because I feel like just by not powdering your skin on the sides, it gives you a very natural glow that I think is so pretty. In the summertime, I do actually like to wear highlighter just because it adds some extra bling, but in the winter, I think this is good enough and it lets me use less product. But yeah, this is my final look and my take on the demure and mindfulness. And honestly, I think this is the perfect look for work, for school, for anything. It doesn't take an awful lot of time either, and I just think it's very, very flattering, and I do love it a lot. Let me know down below if this was helpful. I hope that you learned something new, whether it's using 2 foundations or whether it's to use 2 different primers for different areas of your face, and then concealer before foundation, all those things. But yeah, let me know down below what your take would be on a very demure and mindful look. Would it be something like this, or would it be even lighter, like without the eyeliner, without everything? But yeah, let me know everything, and as always, if you did like today's video, please give it a thumbs up or even subscribe to my channel, and I'm so excited to bring more content to you guys, and I'll see you guys for the next one.